Welcome back, friends. So, some of you will know that I have a Wrangler and a 4Runner. Now, the 4Runner is our purpose-built overland rig. We love it for that purpose. It's just a better vehicle for that. We were overlanding and camping out of the TJ. While fun on some trails, it's not so fun once you start going past 3 days, and I'll leave your imagination as to why. But recently, I've taken the Jeep out, and my love for rock crawling was reignited, and I enjoyed it. We went topless. We had a blast. And I want to start building the Wrangler back up for rock crawling like I had originally intended years ago. So what we're going to do in the next series of videos is we're going to go through each little system and start building this up to be a purpose-built rock crawler with only the essentials it needs to go out and have a blast and get home safely. So let me show you what we're going to do today. By now, I'm sure you've guessed it, we're going to tackle water, storing it in a rock crawler such as this. Now, I have a few water tanks here, so we're going to have to select one, and we're going to try to fit it in a convenient area, which I think I have a pretty good idea what to do. But, you know, water is life, obviously, and we live in the desert, so you have to have a lot of it with you, and you need to be drinking water regularly. But it also extends beyond that. If you spring a leak in your radiator, or someone else does, or you find someone on the side of the road, which have happened many times, or you go out with friends and they forget to bring water, bringing extra water with you is a lifesaver in many ways. You have dogs, you need to wash your hands. It's good to have with you. And so the standard rule for us in the club I'm a part of is we typically bring about 5 gallons with us, which these two satisfy. Now this is an Ironman 4x4 tank. This is 40 liters, and I want to fit this in here, but I don't think I can. I think my idea is to keep everything back here behind the passenger area. I have some young kids that like to go with us when we go out jeeping. So I want to keep that as free as possible, and to do that we need a bit more compact. So the Ironman tank unfortunately will not fit in here. If you had an LJ or a newer Jeep, this would fit back here and it'd be perfect for it, and that's unfortunate because that would have been a lot of fun. So we'll just get rid of that one right now. The next one is the standard guy, Igloo, get them from Walmart, USA made, pretty good little things. That will fit in here, but I'm going to have to unstrap it and undo it to get the water out of here unless I build some contraption in it, and I don't really feel like doing that. Though, if you guys haven't seen my video, I'll link it up here. I do have a Dometic faucet, and I probably could build a straw that goes in there and sucks it out. So we could do something like that in the future. That'd be kind of fun. So for now, I think we're going to get rid of that. But I do have at my disposal this Lifesaver jerry can. And I'm thinking if we strap it in here, this hose is something I came up with and I put on here. Accidentally pressed the button. This hose is kind of nice because you can just, well, I think you can just tuck it back in here when you're not using it. And then when you want to use it, pull the hose out, fill up your water, do whatever you're doing, and then tuck it back, and the tank can kind of just stay. Plus, you don't have to tip it since you pup it for pressure and all that stuff. And you can filter if you're actually ever in an area that has water. We don't, but, you know, that is an option. So you're, well, ew. Yeah, spider web. But that is a nice option to have. You better filter water where you're at. You never know what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and mount this thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the footman loop and this latch here, which is actually for, well, this is built for a little box that goes back here from the factory, which I don't use. For when you have a soft top or no top, you can kind of hide stuff back here. I don't use that, but we are going to use them to tie the tank down. So if you didn't know, most Jeeps come with footman loops in the back. They're a pretty nice little addition, and what a footman loop is, it's basically a piece of steel that's riveted in the form of a loop on the tub, so you can slip straps through it. Now, your bottom of your Jeep is not going to look like this. I have mine sound insulated for when we were doing extended overlanding trips, and yes, the sound insulation helped a lot, which was pretty nice in those instances. So let's get that through there. And this is going to be a very simple but easy to remove mount. And I find my years of rock crawling and overlanding, the simpler the mounts, the better it is. Absolutely. Just makes using everything easier to replicate for someone else who's not used to mounting something or doing something in your rig. And if you need to repair it, easier to get a hold of and cheaper to fix. Oftentimes we get way too complicated in a lot of this stuff, and it just ends up being a nightmare. Put that through there. Nice, simple tie down. And that will not go anywhere. That'll be perfect. We'll cut this off and make this neat as well. So there's, well, yeah, keeping it simple. Give ourselves a little bit of a tail here. The other thing I like to do with these is cut them at like a 45 or 30 degree angle. That helps you feed this through the mechanism here, whatever that's called, a little bit easier. Whew. Try not to burn myself here. I think that'll be good. I'll stop that from fraying. Oh, after years of hard use, the pump handle and lock is loose. Let's fix that proper. Nothing a little thread locker can't fix. Perfect. By the way, I've really been enjoying these larger bottles of thread locker. Yeah, you get a nice cap, but then you also get this little valve here, and that just helps seal everything inside there, and you don't get a big mess when you unscrew the cap of the smaller bottles. I really like that. Plus, these bigger bottles are far cheaper. All right, sanity check. So the idea here is that when we have no top on or have the back window open, we can come through here and still pump it. Yep, can totally do that. And obviously you can walk this way, just the camera's in the way. And then you press a little button, lock it open, and you get water. Now, the flow is slow because I have very little water in here right now. I don't store it with a whole lot naturally. But yeah, that works. And of course, you can always open it and get to it that way as well. And then filling it will be pretty easy. You just take it out or dump a hose right here while it's in the back of the Jeep. So I like that. All right, now that is the water system on the Jeep. So stay tuned though, we have a lot going on. We're gonna detransition this thing from being an overlander and transition it back into being a rock crawler. But we're gonna keep it very lightweight. It's gonna be a very unique build, I think, and you guys will enjoy it, I'm sure. So stay tuned for that because we're gonna go piece by piece and we're gonna explain what gear I've selected and why, and then what pieces we're gonna put on it and why. And I'm gonna put all my years of overlanding and rock crawling together to make this one insanely fun and capable vehicle, more so than it already is. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.